Hi, I'm State Senator Mark Huizenga, representing Michigan's 30th Senate District. Today, I'm touring Swanson's Pickle Company located in Ravenna, Michigan. Swanson's has been a family business since after World War II, and 4 generations later, they continue to grow, grade, and ferment pickles that reach grocery shelves all across our great country. With almost 1,500 acres of pickling cucumbers and partnerships with other farmers across the state, Swanson plays a critical role in our state's agricultural successes. Recently, a grant from the state allowed this region to connect to a wastewater treatment plant in Muskegon, allowing businesses, homes, and industry to continue to grow and thrive across the area. Join me as I learn more about their impressive operations and the important role they play in Michigan's economy. First, I just want to say thank you to the Swanson folks for hosting us today. This is amazing. Sure. We know you're busy, and taking time out of a busy time harvesting it means a lot for us. And we're here. I just want to make sure everyone understands we are here. This is not a political thing. This is a chance for us to learn about agriculture in Michigan, what pickles and cucumbers mean for our state, and to educate the general public about the great things going on.
We have 3 harvesters.
Looks like there's 3 here altogether, huh?
Yeah.
So you said that these machines are custom made, basically.
They're custom made. I mean, they're $600,000 to $700,000 a piece.
Yep.
Can't be used for any other crop, so it's a very capital intensive. So a grower needs to be a certain size to be able to afford it. But we've got 2 growers where they plant the crop, they do all the work, and then we harvest it for them.
It's like pickles have to be picked at like the peak time, right?
Yeah, we like a little bit bigger because we have a lot of relish vines that we sell.
Okay, got it.
So all the bigger ones are the really small ones with a lot of relish.
I grew up in a muck farm. We grew parsnips and carrots.
Oh yeah, parsnip harvest is really hard. Do you guys machine harvest?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see the chain that they actually, all the pickles and everything rides on is called the oversizing.
Okay.
And so, like a rock is too big to fit through the slats, so that goes all the way out the back. So then if pickles are too big, they'll ride out the oversizing too.
Oh, sure.
But then, so they fall through the slats. And so if you have too much debris going through the chain, like a bunch of vines, if I don't pull the vines up, then good pickles can ride out the back.
Yeah.
You want it to fall through the slats.
Delicate balance.
Yeah.
What about trucking? Do you guys do your own trucking from these fields? Or do you contract it?
Yes. So the trucking from the fields, we do that all ourselves.
Okay.
Trucking fermented product, which is year-round. In
Yeah.
Michigan, we primarily do that ourselves. Outside of Michigan, we use third-party trucking.
Yeah.
So when you came around that corner, you saw pickles being loaded. They were the olive color, and they turn that color once they're fermented. And those are last year's pickles. So we serve as a warehouse in a sense too. They were sold going in, and they're just being pulled out. But we want every tank emptied before the end of this season, because we want to fill it. Yesterday we emptied 10 or 12 tanks, and we filled 23.
But you saw the truck when we first pulled up, and we were unloading pickles from the field into that pit of water. So that's everything's getting flumed out of the truck, and the water is being used just to separate debris, like the sticks and the mud and the dirt, from the pickle. It's not a sanitation step. We don't want to do any sanitation at this step because we're going to do the fermentation, and fermentation is a natural kill step. So for fermentation to be successful the way that we're doing it, you even want some microbial load going in. You wouldn't want them to be, chlorinated or something like that. And then it goes into our second pit, which you can see that arm that's moving there. That's actually pushing the pickles onto another conveyor, and it's taking a sample of each load. And then once you get into the inside, you'll see we have 2 big vision sorters that's using lasers, not cameras, actually lasers to do the sorting. So chlorophyll and density are the 2 metrics that the lasers are using. Chlorophyll is really nice to get out foreign material because anything that's not a pickle, so basically from the field, the things you worry about, the corn stubble, sticks. It's a black and white yes, no. The vision sorters are, the first vision sorter for foreign material is incredibly accurate. In all our testing, we're looking at like 99%. We still have people on the other side to make sure. And then the second vision sorter is quality. So that's looking at broken pickles. If there's any scab or nicks or things like that, then the second sorter can get that out. Nothing is wasted unless it's not a pickle or it's rotten. This is actually the active fermentation right now.
Okay.
So you can smell it, you know,
Yeah.
how acidic. Lactobacillus is the good bacteria that's taking over, and the byproduct is lactic acid and also carbon dioxide.
Wow.
So the
Okay.
reason why we're circulating is not only for equalization of the tank, it's also most importantly, is to release carbon dioxide.
Otherwise,
So
the
this
carbon
is-
dioxide build up underneath here
Yeah,
then?
this is a solid layer of boards.
Oh, got it.
So we're we're holding the pickles under the brine.
Yeah.
We use about 2,500 tons of salt every year. We're picking it up in pneumatic trucks, like big kind of tanker-looking trucks, from Morton and from Cargill, both in Michigan.
Yep.
You can see the salt on the top there. Actually, those just got salt.
Okay, got
That
it.
white.
Yep. Oh, I see the whole row is all full.
Yep.
Is it specific gravity you're checking then, or like the salinity, or how do you check
we
that?
use a salometer to check the salinity, and then we
cool.
we test for pH, and we also test for sugar. Sugar is an indication that everything went as planned, that your fermentation is done, and so usually around 21 days or so, we start to get negative sugar tests, meaning there's nothing left to be consumed. The lactobacillus has won, and then you have a stable fermentation at that point. So recycling your brine is basically a way to do a natural starter culture. We don't need to add any starter culture. Recycling your brine is good because it limits your waste, but it's also good for the fermentation. It actually makes for a more foolproof thing. The waste that we have is coming from rain. Every time it rains, we are capturing that because there is,
So you
although it's
overflow.
very watered down, we have some chlorides that are released with that, and that's what we're currently hauling to Muskegon wastewater by
Okay.
truck. But as soon as the
pipeline is
wastewater
done.
infrastructure is done,
Yep.
the pipeline is done, then we'll be able to pipe directly into there. So that will be a big gain for us, but
Sure.
also environmentally, it's not great
and the
to
whole
be
community,
hauling this
really.
whole thing. We're very fortunate to have been able to kind of tag along. We're a small party in that whole thing, but it's very meaningful for us. And it will also allow us to consider and pursue future expansions,
Yeah.
not only in tanks, but you could even think of other value-added.
Well,
things that
or
we
if you're
could do.
trucking it, I mean,
Yeah.
labor's hard to get. It's
Yeah.
hard to find truck drivers. I mean, it
Waste
only increases the
disposal,
cost.
waste disposal is a very limiting factor for
Yeah.
growth of a business like ours.
Yeah.
So getting that pipeline will open up some more opportunities
Yeah,
for sure.
fantastic.
Yeah.